All right, affirmative action. The arguments for it, um, of the arguments for it, I think that the most difficult to to justify is actually the diversity issue, specifically because um, one of the things is that it can't it really can't you can't guarantee that for the first benefit, educational experience. Like I'm pretty introverted, and I don't know that I would really. I mean, there's only a select type of people that I'm gonna even like feel comfortable around, and like maybe diversity is gonna help there, but some people might be completely. I mean, there's no way to prove that that is gonna give somebody a benefit, but for the benefit of society as a whole, I think that's for like the common good. I think that is a good argument. But that raises the issue of what is beneficial to society as a whole, and what does and how do you know what um, everybody finds to be beneficial? You have to there's like some sort of generalizing that you have to do about society, or like how do you know what is the common good? It kind of it goes back to the idea of uh, uh, answering what kind of justice everybody prescribes to. Like if there's a bunch of utilitarians, they're not going to see that it's going to be benefiting the society as a whole, because um, these minorities are just like there's not that many of them. So yeah, I think it's hardest to justify diversity, even though it is very important. And compensating past injustices. I am excited to hear go over the issue of what we owe, or the collective responsibility topic, because it kind of relates to the diversity thing. Because what uh, what should we do? What is the best thing to do when things went went pretty horribly in the past? Um, like I didn't actually commit these horrible things, but so I don't. Why should I have to compensate for them? But the same goes for the people who are suffering because of past injustices. They don't deserve to be. They had nothing to do with it. So as a society, for the common good, shouldn't we do something about it? So ultimately, I think that the correctional for the correcting for the effects of educational disadvantage is probably the most probably the best way to try to implement affirmative action that is a little bit morally justifiable. It doesn't. It kind of does dodge the whole race issue, but I think that's kind of why everybody gets so worked up about it. Is that it is centered around the race issue, and maybe it shouldn't be. If you're, for instance, if you're trying to create a society that sees race as a non-issue, it's kind of a Rawlsian viewpoint. Like you, when you don't, you try to not judge based off of just the test scores, but you look at their economic background and like relatively, are their test scores like, are they a genius relatively to what their opportunities presented them? Right. So I think that is probably the strongest argument there. And finally, on the professor's criticism of him, of Rawls, and having he says it's all Sandel seems to be lumping Dworkin's determinism with and the rejection of free will together with Rawls, but it's to me it seemed like he was mostly just saying they both the Dworkin's opposition to the that students don't deserve to get into a school because there's so many things that the society. He's just saying that they both. Sandel, to me, it seemed like he was just saying they both see that you don't completely deserve something because of your merit, like your merits, of your effort, because you didn't completely, like there's so many arbitrary factors. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's more to this criticism that I'm not completely understanding, but I didn't really think that it was, I didn't see that they were being too lumped together, it just like seemed like they had one idea in common. Yeah. Sorry.